Hi, we're back. Hello.
How does it feel to get I'm Too Sexy?
How does it feel?
To get, there's a mistake here. How does it feel to get I'm Too Sexy sampled by Taylor? Well, that's Swiftie to you.
Yeah.
And Queen Bey. Who is that?
Right, just to set the record straight. I'm Too Sexy has been interpreted by Taylor Swift with Look What You Made Me Do.
Swiftie, as she's known.
Drake, Way Too Sexy, and Beyonce, Alien Superstar. These are not samples. And I can guarantee they're not samples, and I know this because we have to approve the usage of the master rights.
Yes.
There have been no requests there, and there have been no approvals. So it's not a sample; it's a co-write, and that co-write comes to people using our ideas and interpreting them, interpolating them in their own way.
And can I ask a question? Who's Queen Bey?
That's Beyonce.
I've never heard of this. Does everybody know that she's called Queen Bey?
I don't know. Who cares? And so just you'll see it in the music press. You see it all the time that we were sampled. We may have been sampled by the people. We weren't sampled by Taylor Swift. We haven't been sampled by Drake, and we weren't sampled by Beyonce. If you read it in the press, it's wrong.
I think you make a point.
Yeah. I'll shut.
Do you like classical music?
Yes, but I'm a bit of a Philistine. I like all the corny stuff.
1812.
Yeah, and the Flowers duet and
Lacme.
Yeah, Lacme, things like that. I'm not very.
I like Chopin.
Yeah, you do actually.
I like Chopin.
I'm not very schooled.
No. Well, it's like paintings.
Bach,
I think.
I like.
Yeah. It's you don't have to know much about classical music or paint it to know what you like.
No, that's true.
And there's nothing wrong with just admitting that you're not an expert, but you know what you like. Have you ever considered, it's an interesting question given our conversation lately, have you ever considered doing a Freedom concert and getting other artists involved?
Yes, we have.
We have.
We attended the Freedom Music Festival down in Battle, run by Katie Joe.
Yep.
That was that was in June.
Yep.
No, July. Sorry, July.
It was lovely, actually.
And it was fantastic. It was her first event. It was only a small event because it was. The numbers were restricted by the council. We are now talking to 2 or 3 promoters about a Freedom Festival next year. We are hoping to make this happen, and we will be posting stuff online
when we know.
When we know.
Yeah. What genres do you love? Music genres do you love and hate and most, and why? What do you love and hate the most?
Okay, what I love and hate.
It's fairly easy for you.
Love, I like all guitar-based music pretty much. I'm a big fan of guitars. I really like rock. I love dance music, particularly when it incorporates guitars, which also goes into the disco thing with guys like Nile Rodgers. I don't like gangster rap.
No.
I don't like grime. I wouldn't say I hate it. I don't really hate anything really. I don't, not in terms of music.
No.
I don't like the sexualization of women in some music genres and the glorification of wealth in some music genres.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
The weird thing with hip hop is it started off as street art. It started off as something which came from the streets up.
Yeah.
And then some artists have turned it into this kind of, look at my crib and all this nonsense,
Early hip hop is absolutely fantastic. And some of the more recent stuff, Alt J, I really like. Cottonmouth, going back a bit now, but I really like Cottonmouth. Everlast.
I like Everlast.
Some really, really, really good bands out there.
Okay, next question. Do you have a favourite composer?
I suppose in contemporary, I'd go with Bob Dylan. There's a guy called Mark James who wrote Suspicious Minds. And he wrote a couple other songs I really like. I'd have to go probably Keith Richards and Mick Jagger, probably to a degree.
There are some people who are really brilliant. Stevie Wonder's a really
fantastic
songwriter.
Yeah.
But I never play him, and it doesn't. Apart from I Was Made to Love Her, which I love. It's probably my favourite track actually. Higher Grounds, one or two others.
So not really a favourite, but David Bowie. I'd have to throw in there.
Yeah. Okay, and this question is connected to that in a way. Is there anyone in particular you'd love to collaborate with?
I would like to collaborate with Robin Schulz, because we really like his remixes. High Res, who is a rapper. I think he'd be an interesting guy to work with.
Yeah.
Let's have a think.
For me, it's more producers.
Producers and DJs, really, not musicians.
No.
Not particularly, nor bands, but there are producers and DJs. I think there's some really interesting DJs out there. And who's the guy? Who's the other guy? Yeah, I know. David Guetta. I think it's interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Calvin Harris.
Calvin Harris.
That's what I'm trying to think of.
Do you ever compose through the night?
Yes, I do.
Fred does, I don't actually.
I occasionally wake up all blurry-eyed and I'll sing something into my phone or into my recorder, whatever I've got handy. It's usually rubbish. Occasionally I'll come up with an idea in the middle of the sleep and I'll do that, or sometimes I'll write something down. We used to work at night when we were younger, when we could.
Yeah.
But now we tend to do, we regiment ourselves to a working day.
When do you feel most creative?
There's no particular time, it happens all the time, on and
For
off.
me, it's walking.
Is it?
Yeah, it's when I'm walking.
Definitely walking.
Definitely walking.
Okay.
Yeah, walking. We know that ABBA song.
Yes.
He wrote that while he was jogging.
That's right, it was a pace thing, wasn't it? Yeah, different times. of
Yes,
course.
it comes at different moments, yeah. Okay. Okay. This is the next of the questions we've been asked to answer. And we're going to do them in batches of 4, as before. So if you are familiar with our programme. Okay, first question. This is for me, I guess. Any suggestions on what bass one should get if you're thinking of being a bass player? Well, I'm not an expert in choosing different kinds of basses. It's a very personal thing. For me, I play a jazz bass, and the reason I do that is because it's got a very narrow neck, and I really like the narrow neck. Some of the other basses are heavier to use, and if the neck's wide, it depends on your hand, how big your hands are. So it's a very personal thing.
Marcus Miller makes some good basses.
Yeah, Marcus Miller makes some good basses. The secret is just to try a whole load.
Yeah.
And
there's no right or wrong.
There's no right or wrong. It's whatever is comfortable for you to use, and you don't have to pay a fortune to get a good bass.
Yeah.
Okay. Thoughts on now? I thought this said, have you had any thoughts on making an autistic album? And I oh no, acoustic album. It says.
We did make an acoustic album as part of Night of the Living Fred acoustic tour.
Yeah, it wasn't pure acoustic, I guess, was it?
No, not pure acoustic. We have thought about it. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we could do an acoustic version of stuff. I mean, some of the stuff works better acoustically than people imagine.
Yeah.
Certainly songs like...
we like noise, that's the trouble.
Country Sex and stuff. Yeah, we tend to like beats and noise.
We get a bit bored after. We have tried it, and when we first started, we were doing all sorts of gigs as buskers, essentially.
Yeah.
And the thing that drove us to do Sexy was the fact we wanted to hear a groove.
Yep.
Okay, can the music industry survive with the rise of companies like Spotify and influence culture and the cancel culture?
Influence of cancel culture.
Yeah.
Yes, is the answer.
Yep.
Spotify and those sort of streaming companies provide a brilliant service, but obviously need to pay much better royalties to the artists and writers.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer, and I think they should honour. I think they should do the right thing, personally.
Yeah.
That said, I'm a Spotify fan. I have discovered so many bands that,
Yeah, me too.
and I think it provides a brilliant service. But I just wish they'd pay the artists better money.
Yeah.
Cancel culture. We have been a victim of cancel culture the last 2.5 years. All shows cancelled.
It'll end.
It will end. Yeah, we've had
You know.
2 commercials cancelled, a movie cancelled, about 50 shows, all sorts of interviews pulled. Sponsorships pulled. So we're very familiar with the cancel culture, but you can work through it, as we're proving bit by bit, because we have now been working with people like WH Smith, Hard Rock Hotel, Getter, and there are people out there who won't play that stupid cancel culture game.
It's time to cancel the cancel culture.
Come on.
Come on.
All right.
Okay, next question. How do you guys, this is obviously to me, how do you guys still look so young?
You don't. You like shit.
Hardly changed since the well, it says 90s. I'm assuming it's not the 1890s.
Okay, 2 things. First of all, we're very, very lucky.
Yep.
Our mum and dad genes were excellent. Mum didn't start to look like an old lady till she was about 85.
Yeah.
Very sprightly. We never, although we both boozed a little bit and I did drugs. Cigarettes. We never got into that until our late 20s, early 30s. It only lasted for a number of years. It wasn't like a lifestyle sort of commitment, if you like some people do. And a lot of it's luck.
And we're a bit vain, to be absolutely
honest. Yeah, we are quite careful with that. We drink regularly, but not a lot. So a couple of glasses of wine with feel.
I'll never get wine.
With food. And don't like getting drunk. I don't get high anymore. Don't do drugs anymore.
No.
That's about it. So
we're careful.
Yeah, we are careful, but we're not pious about it. And people have got to do what they want to do.
How can we book you guys for a private performance? Now it says private performance, but it doesn't say music.
Saucy.
So this could be actually quite rude.
That could get quite expensive.
And it could get quite expensive if you pay by the inch.
Yeah,
that is.
if you email, go to our website, rightsaidfred.com. There are contact details in the contact section, and you can contact us through there, and we will point you in the right direction.
Exactly. Okay, next question. Have you any plans for a tour?
Yes, we do. It's not so much a tour. We tend to do standalone shows, but they all sort of pack quite tightly. It's not like a tour. But we are talking to a couple of promoters about 2023. We have been offered some shows already. Our agent keeps telling us he's got lots of requests, but because we are been off the road, he's saying, what do you want me to do with them? We're saying now we're going to look at them, and it will depend on the money, the event, the location, and the other bands. And then we have to, going abroad is difficult because we aren't vaccinated. Some promoters, some artists won't work with people like us. It's true, they won't. It'll be it's a suck and see. Hopefully we'll be out on the road next year.
Yeah. Are you a part of the LGBT community? Your song is a massive hit, in those communities. And it says icons at the end. I don't think we're icons.
No.
Icons are those little things on the computer screen. I'm not sure what one of those. I'm not sure about the community thing. I just think there's lots of gay and bisexual people out there doing their thing. Whether you could describe it as a community, which implies that they're all sort of together and talking to each other and of one mind or something, I'm not sure that's true.
Nope.
So I've never been, I don't consider myself part of it at all.
No.
And I don't think actually a lot of gay people or bisexual people do.